All right, today we are going to be going over Zoom, also known as Zoom US. It is a company, software as a service, where it's video and business meetings professionally. They also have a freemium version, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. I've also used the pro version for about 2 years, so I'll explain some of the differences and whether or not I think it's worth having. So, free version of Zoom honestly is pretty great if you're just using it for your own small business or for yourself. I also just use it for free to record videos. I'm not using it right now because it wouldn't show up, but I'll walk you through some of the functionality. So when you open up Zoom, and again, this is on the Mac, you'll see this screen. It's fairly simple. You can press New Meeting to start a new meeting. You can join a meeting, so you'll be asked to input the meeting ID or have a link, and then you can select your settings. So don't connect to audio means you'll join the meeting and your audio won't be connected yet. So if you say anything, you won't be heard. And if you select turn off my video, well, it'll turn off your video so they won't see you. Perfect for people who are still in their PJs and who haven't gotten ready yet. So sometimes that's me. Also, they also have a scheduling that integrates with your calendar, and that'll actually show up right here with your next meeting. This was just a sample that I had created, and when you go to schedule a meeting, you select name, the date, various settings. Pretty much self-explanatory. I never require a meeting though. And then you select which calendar. I've only hooked it up with Google Calendar, so I don't know how it works with other calendars, but it's pretty great. It ties into your Gmail calendar super easily. As you see, it'll connect you right here in the browser. On the first time, it'll ask you for some permissions. And then here you can set the settings, make sure it's all good, add your guests, and save it if you want to save it. So going back, the share screen functionality, like I said, it's something that I use a lot. And actually right now I'm using the free version of Screencast-O-Matic, just simply so I can actually show you what you're going to see. So if you click on share screen, oh, sorry, I need to join a meeting. All right, so I know we haven't gone through this yet. Before we do, we'll kind of just wrap up what's on the home page. You see a new live version is available. The update process is very easy. You just click on it, you download the new version, and it'll replace the old version. For the chat, these are just any chat windows. I actually never use this. I didn't really even know that it had this option. And I assume that's tied into your contacts. Again, I haven't used this myself. I just create a link and then I'll send it to my team. And then meetings, this is a specific tab for what we created here. And so you can see all your upcoming Zoom meetings. So this is pretty great, just so you can see, what's going on for, what do you have planned for the next several hours or for the day. So for the home, when you click new meeting, you can select start with video. I almost never do, just out of habit. People don't usually like being on video anyway. And then I'll just use my personal meeting ID. Doesn't really matter whether you take this or not. With your personal meeting ID, if you give it to someone, they can technically rejoin anytime you have it open. I've never had that issue. I don't think people are gonna, there's no point in people joining. But if it's someone, you're not really sure about, you might want to untick this. So we'll start with video just because. And as you see right here, it shows this this window. You can mute and unmute yourself. Pretty standard. You can stop video and start video. One thing that I always like to do, like I mentioned, is when you invite people or add people, you can either add them from your list of contacts that you have or by email. What I almost always do is I just copy the URL, and then in a chat window, I am going to simply put it right here. And so, I'll give them the link, and as soon as they click on the link, the user will open that in the browser, and if they already have Zoom downloaded, it'll just open up to the chat, And if they haven't downloaded it yet, then they'll be prompted to download. It's very quick and easy. What you can also do is copy the entire invitation, which contains the link, but also a bunch of other information, such as this. So you can actually, with Zoom, you don't have to click on the link. You can actually dial into a meeting as well. You call the Zoom number and then you enter the ID. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm always on the computer, so it just makes it easy when I just click on the link. Go back here, you'll see, you can manage participants. So if there are other people in here, you can mute them or unmute them, turn off their video. Sometimes that comes in handy for various reasons. Here, this chat is specific to what's going on within this meeting. So, hello, test, and everyone will be able to see it. You can also decide to just send it to no one, everyone, or particular people. You can share files, and you can save the chat. Here's the record. It works similarly to any other recording function. If you click it, you can decide to, well, I don't usually record when I'm muted, but apparently this is what pops up. So I'm just going to do record without audio because I don't really care about saving it. You can pause it and resume. So it basically just works as, you're pausing it and then you can start up again. Or when you stop recording, you'll get this notification. So basically, you'll have the file, but as soon as you exit the meeting is when the file is actually going to save and you'll be able to access the video file. And as soon as you end it, you'll see it processing, which we'll get to in a second. Actually, we'll do that, in a second, right after we share our screen. So screen share is just, whatever you're using, whatever you're seeing on your screen, your viewers will be able to see it as well. So this is handy if you're working together, creating a presentation, or you're going over some programming things or some UI UX things. This makes it a lot easier. If you're on a dual monitor, you can actually choose which monitor you're going to show from. So that's very handy. Especially if you just have two monitors, it's kind of hard to keep track of which one you're using. Here you'll see, this window will kind of like will hide and unhide. So when you unhide it, you'll be able to start and stop video, unmute yourself. You can still pause it as well as invite people. Some other things. I don't really use these things. And you can annotate the times for the video if you want to put notes, but I rarely do, though it's probably useful if you do. So maybe I should start doing that. Anyway, I'm stopping share. No, whoops. I want to end share. Stop share. There we go. Yeah, so we're back here, kind of like the base Zoom window, and let's just end this meeting. When you hit, so I always hit end meeting for all if I'm the host. This will kick everyone out of the meeting, and then it will also start saving that recorded video that we have. And you'll see it processing right here. And so right now it just saves to like your local folder. As you can see, it's in like my personal meeting in documents. If you go to Zoom, then you'll be able to see the date, the file that is saved with the date and time. So today is the 27th of January 2020, and it's right here. These files are pretty big, so if you send it out, I recommend using Gmail. When you add that video, it's actually, because it's probably going to be 25 megabytes or more, it's going to upload to your drive and then send it out. So I always just upload these to my drive and then send a link to the drive. Now with the Pro version, there's a couple differences between the free version and the Pro version. First off, while we're talking about saving videos, for the free version you can only save on your computer, on your local computer, on your machine. But if you have the paid version, you actually can save it into the cloud and the video will be hosted there. So it makes sharing the video a little easier. It's one less step and it's going to be a little quicker as far as sending it. I typically like to have a local version on my computer anyway. So, that's a feature I don't really need. I can just upload it to Google Drive or even Box. That's really easy, and then send that out. You also see it comes with a couple other files the MP4 audio and the playback M3U. No idea what this M3U is, but this MP4 is a standard video. So if you click on it, it'll go to your native video player, start playing. Yeah, so this is the video we recorded, and I'm not saying anything because it's muted. Another difference when you have your Zoom meeting is you have, for the free version, you have unlimited one-on-one meeting time. But if you have a meeting with 3 or more people, that's limited to, I want to say 30 or 45 minutes. But either way, if you have a number of professional meetings with multiple people, such as clients, other project managers, you might want to consider getting the pro version because otherwise they'll kick you out. Like Zoom will actually shut down the meeting and it'll stop and you'll have to restart it again, which you can, no problem. But it just seems very unprofessional if you're talking to clients or you're talking to other team members. So just keep that in mind. Those are the two differences that you have in Zoom. The difference in having the ability to save your videos to the cloud, not that big of a deal, honestly, with so much great free storage out there. But if you are talking to clients, you do want to pay the monthly. I don't know what it is for Zoom, but it is worth paying for monthly on their subscription. It's 15 bucks a month a host. So it's not cheap, but with one client, I'm sure if you're talking to them, they're going to be worth a little more than that. So, it just adds another element of professionalism, and not having it can really disrupt your meetings. So I highly recommend getting that if you're going to use Zoom for multiple people for more than about 30 minutes. All right, this is the Zoom review. This was the freemium version that we mostly talked about today. The paid version is decent, but I would only get it if I'm trying to land clients and I have multiple stakeholders that are coming into the meeting. So, if there's 3 of us in the room, there is a maximum amount of time that you can have for the meeting. Otherwise, it'll just shut down. So if that's not you, if you don't need that, the free version of Zoom is going to work great for you. And that's why I decided to stop paying for Zoom after 2 years of using it professionally for the paid service. And, I have no issues with the free version because it's honestly pretty great. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed. And let me know if you have any questions.